Feels a lot like 2008, doesn't it? A lot of things need to happen for the Eagles to make the postseason. They do not control their own destiny. But if they get in, if they get in, because these teams at the top of the NFC, the Saints, the Rams, they're not what they were to start the year at the midway point when they were red hot, when they were reeling off 50 burgers. That's what happens late in the season. Blueprints are made. Dallas Cowboys laid the blueprint on the Saints. They haven't been scoring as many points. Offense hasn't been putting up 40 burgers, 50 burgers. Hasn't looked like a machine. Still prolific, though, but not a machine. The Rams look a little bit worse. They lost to the Eagles. And this is kind of why it feels like 2008, because if you remember in 2008, the Eagles, they got that late season win against the Giants. And that late season win against the Giants really propelled them, had all the momentum going. But, man, that 2008 season, that Week 17, they needed the Oakland Raiders to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and also needed the Houston Texans to beat the Chicago Bears. So those two things happened, and then 44-6 happened. And that was awesome. You know what I'm talking about. And then the Eagles got in. They rattled off a couple wins. They beat the Giants again. And they got to the NFC Championship game. And then, obviously, I lost that one. But there's a lot of similarities here because the Eagles need some help on Sunday from, not only the Bears, but 49ers. They need a lot of help from the 49ers because the Bears need to be motivated to play this game. And Matt Nagy, Bears head coach, he's already said, if the Rams get up big, we're pulling out starters. 49ers, not a great football team. Rams beat up on the Cardinals last week. But I would say that, the 49ers are a little bit more stingier. They hung around last week against the Bears, and that's what you want, and that's all you can ask for out of the Niners. Hang around. Hang around until the end. Let the Bears think and hope that they have a chance at the 2 seed. Because let me tell you something. Kirk Cousins stinks, and I don't trust him in a big game. And I'll trust him against this Bears defense. If they got something to play for, watch out, NFC. Because if this Eagles team gets in, they got something going right now. They're red hot. This is the red hot team you don't want to play. This is like the Giants that when they won their 2 Super Bowls. This is what the Eagles are looking at the moment. They're red hot. And the teams at the top of the NFC don't look as great as they did at the beginning of the season, even the middle of the season. And, well, actually the middle of the season when they were red hot. But you get my point. So they're not as hot. The Bears look great, obviously. But it's just not looking as stacked. And the Eagles right now playing red-hot football, who knows what can happen. The only team I really would be scared of is the Saints. I mean, what reason is there to be scared of the Rams? You beat them already. And then you got the Bears. And, I think the Bears are good, but they're also young. This is the first time they're really tasting postseason success, Mitch Trubisky and all that, the young quarterback and that defense. And, Khalil Mack's been in a playoff game, but we'll see. And if the Eagles play the Bears right out of the chute, I'm not going to say I'm intimidated by them. It's a game the Eagles can win with them being red hot. Look, this Eagles offensive line right now is rolling. It's rolling. And I've kind of, made the numbers and before. They're giving Nick Foles protection. And I've made the comparison before with Nick Foles and Kurt Warner. When Kurt Warner gets protection, he can pick you apart. And that's what Nick Foles is doing right now. And this offensive line has only allowed 1 sack in the last 3 weeks. And I talked about the passes, I guess seconds per pass numbers with Foles and Wentz. So the first 2 weeks, Nick Foles, 2.79 seconds per pass. And then Carson Wentz, it was 2.49 for, his time in there with the Eagles. So, when people were saying, Wentz was holding on to the ball too long, stuff like that, Eagles offensive line was obviously really struggling, leading the NFL in quarterback hits allowed. It was ugly. I mean, Wentz had to elude pressure immediately and had to roll out. He was always trying to extend plays. And, it was ugly out there. But these last couple of weeks, I mean, even with Carson Wentz, I've got the numbers to prove it. So I talked about it, 2.79, 2.49, right? So Carson Wentz was 2.20 against Dallas. Nick Foles, 2.19 in, his first game. And then obviously against Houston, it was 2.35. I think that was the number, if I remember off the top of my head, either 2.35 or 2.32, but something that was really good. And, this offensive line is all of a sudden opening up the offense because you see all the deep passes that are being completed. Well, you need time for those passes and routes to materialize. So it's starting up front, and it's giving the protection to the quarterbacks, to Nick Foles. I mean, Nick Foles threw for 471 yards. I know he threw the ball 49 times, but 471 yards. A lot of these passes were pinpoint. Some of them early were not. But that 83-yard bomb to Nelson Aguilar, that ball traveled like 55, 60 yards in the air. It was a lovely ball. Beautiful trajectory. Right into Nelson Aguilar's lap. Beautiful wheel routes to Darren Sproles. I mean, the jump balls to Alshon Jeffrey. And this is going to be part of my film room if I can get this out in time. I want to talk about, some things that Carson Wentz can learn from Nick Foles, because there are some things. And throwing to Alshon Jeffrey is one of them. Alshon Jeffrey likes the 50-50 ball. He turns the 50-50 ball into an 80-20 ball because of how great he is at the catch point. He's so strong, and he just snatches the ball out of the air like a shark. But in order for him to snatch the ball out of the air like a shark, you have to put it up there for him to go get it. I mean, think about the throw where Nick Foles was lying in the end zone, and he's throwing it to Alshon, and he had to go up and get it. That's how you want to throw it to him. But when sometimes he throws the flat ball, and he doesn't get it up there high enough. And, this is a pattern, and the fade route that Alshon likes to run, and, the back shoulder throws. This is something that Carson Wentz has kind of had trouble with and he's been working on, but he hasn't perfected. And when I see Nick Foles throw this ball, it's almost perfect every time. So he really knows how to throw this. And I'm hoping that this is something, Wentz, even in the, this is when the offseason is really going to be key, where he and Alshon really got to work this out and figure this out, because that's something he needs to be better at. And even the deep ball, I talked about the trajectory with Nick Foles. Carson Wentz can be better with that as well. So those are two things, and I'll kind of look at that in the film study if I have some time. So there you go. So those are kind of my thoughts here. It's Wednesday, just kind of doing a random video here. Hopefully everyone had a great Christmas, and hopefully you got everything that you wanted under that Christmas tree. So there it is. And also to Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa. So to everything, there it is. It's the most beautiful time of the year. And then we got New Year's coming up. That's going to be a lot of fun. So there we go as we head into 2019. So 2018 season coming to an end on Sunday, and we'll see if the Eagles can steal a playoff spot. I'm Adrian Fedkiw. I'm out. Peace.